entrepreneur, jet pilot, peak performance coach, and best-selling author brings you Living Outside the Cube, where great thinkers and doers of our century talk about how to help you be your best. Here is your host, Fabrizio Poli.
Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Living Outside the Cube. Today we're in connection with Ben Woodward from California. Hi Ben, how you doing?
I'm doing fantastic, Fabrizio, thank you. Doing well?
Yep, Ben is a very successful businessman. He's the president of Nikken, which is a health and wellness company, which originally started in Japan and now is based in California. So he's going to talk to us about health and wellness, but also about network marketing, about business in general. But as we always do with our guests, we'd like to start off with your story, Ben. Would you tell us a bit about your personal story and how you got into business? Because you got into business in a very unconventional way, and this show is all about being unconventional and making a difference in the world. So tell us a bit about your story and how you started off.
Sure. Well, I started off my career as a designer. And so, far from the stretches of being involved as a business leader, that's for sure. But I guess as I predate that, I first got exposed to network marketing as a distributor when I was 18. My sister joined a company called Amway, and I attended my first business opportunity meeting at the age of 18, which I think for network marketing is fairly young. So when I moved, that was in New Zealand. When I moved to the UK, where I spent the last 17 years or so, I joined as a distributor for a network marketing company. At the age of about 22. So I'd been around the industry a little bit. So as I started my career in graphic design, one of my clients, as fate would have it, turned out to be a network marketing company. And so I started working for them, ended up working for them full-time, became their marketing manager and their media manager. And I guess because of my background, having been a distributor, having been attracted to the industry from that side of the field, when it came time to creating copy, creating marketing strategies and initiatives, what have you, that's when I shifted from being simply a graphic designer into the role of being the marketer, because I was kind of just raised my hand. I think a lot of times I've done that, just kind of raised my hand and said, I can do that. Yeah. That's kind of how I got my job as president. You know, the current CEO was saying he needed to find a new president. I was the managing director of Europe at the time. And I said, well, I'll do that. Yeah. And just kind of volunteered myself, and that's what brought me over to California. But,
so you didn't go to Harvard or Stanford or any of those MBA?
No, I didn't. It's when I went over to the UK, I was considered, whilst I was a citizen of the United Kingdom. I was born in England. I wasn't considered a resident because I'd come over from New Zealand, and I was I would have been considered an overseas student. Yeah. So I started university as a designer in graphic design, but they said after a few months, they said, oh look Ben, we just found out that you're not a resident, so you've got to pay international student fees, you've got no entitlement to student loans or grants or anything like that. Yeah. And I just didn't get the opportunity, so I had to relinquish my position at the university, and seizing the opportunity, I just started to freelance and thought I'll do it myself.
Yeah. So you self-educated? Basically.
Self-educated, yeah. So when I had the chance to go back to university, now that I've been around for 3 years, I was making more money than most of the graduates were. So there was little point to me doing that. And then, like I said, a year or so after that, I was involved not just as freelancing, but as a media manager. And then from there, it just progressed quite rapidly. So yeah, definitely self-educated.
So what did you do to self-educate yourself? Give us some ideas that you used.
Well, one is... I cannot be satisfied with the status quo. I find that hugely frustrating to me. So I need, I look at what I want to have, what I want to become, and it's more important about becoming versus having. Yeah. What you get is perhaps the fruit of what you do. Yeah. And what you do is the fruit of what you think and what you feel. Yeah. So I always started out really by studying and reading everything I could get my hands on that interestingly was just of interest to me. It started out understanding a bit more about business, then it moved into biographies or autobiographies of very successful people, and then it moved from there into psychology and philosophy, and from there how psychology works in the business context and in leadership, and it's really just evolved.
So you wrote your own university curriculum, basically?
I really did, yeah. I think at any given time I've always had 2 or 3 books on the go that I'm always reading. And I travel a lot with my job, and so I'm always on and off planes. So I'm doing a degree now. I'm in my final year of an English literature and language degree. It's got no relevance to my career in the sense of business, other than, in my opinion, words have great power. And if you can master your words and your ability to command them, then your ability to influence and to persuade, to articulate and to inspire, suddenly goes through the roof. And to that end, then my capacity as a leader, which is really influenced by my words, has greater attraction. So I'm doing that for personal interest. And I thought, well, I'm doing that while I'm traveling so much, then in lonely hotel rooms at night and on aeroplanes and in waiting rooms and lounges and what have you, then I can just continue my study to that end. So that's what I'm doing a little bit now as well.
So why network marketing? What really attracted you to network marketing in the first place, and what's made you stick with it all this time?
Yeah. Well, I loved what attracted me at the beginning when I was 18 years old, and it's always stuck with me, is that if you want to think big and dream big, then you've got a framework here for someone that perhaps didn't have an environment growing up that could teach me that, how to achieve it, that I've got a framework here to follow and pursue, and I can be successful at. You learn in school and in formal education about perhaps how to manage money. You can learn accounting and budgets and finance and all that kind of thing. You can learn about business sense and about management and leadership, but acquiring money, making money work for you, and working not just the 9 to 5 or having a conventional job, but being entrepreneurial. I like being in charge of myself. I like having freedom of my own schedule. I like the idea of being able to dream big, think big, and feel like you're on a path that's going to take you there. So that was always attractive to me. What really attracted me as well, when I was a distributor in England, I remember going to a meeting, and there was a gentleman there. He was the main leader of the group. He earned tens of thousands a month in income, and I remember just sitting there as a 22-year-old going, he wants to show me how to do that, how to get that. And that was really exciting. I'd never known anyone that earned 50, 60, 70K a month, let alone someone that would say, let me put my arm around you, figuratively speaking, and show you how to get that. And that to me was really, really exciting. And then moving into the corporate side, of course, being able to promote and champion that en masse, because the luxury of my job, the perk of my job, is I get to work with everyone. I get to see everyone that comes in, or work indirectly perhaps with them, and get out to all of those big events where it's exciting and motivating, and see people reach their goals and help them to achieve that, and build and create. And creating is fun. In a network marketing, you get to create. You find purpose in creation. I heard someone once said you find your purpose through three things: through love, through creation, and through suffering. And when we can tap into those, and network marketing kind of gives you all three. You work with people that you love. You get to create something, and if you're doing it right, you will not escape suffering. There's going to be some pain with any great success. Some adversity, some opposition, some obstacles that you're going to face. But as you face it all head on, then you really connect with your purpose better, and that's kind of cool.
So, how's the internet changed the way network marketing is done today compared to 5, maybe 10 years ago?
I think significantly, but I still think it's only really scratching the surface. One of the ways that it has clearly affected network marketing is we're a person-to-person business. It's all built on word of mouth and recommendation and those relationships, and that will never go away. But it's improved things for people so that they can communicate with their teams easier. You can maybe prospect people a little easier if you've got Skype, and
like we are now. You're in California. I'm near Manchester, UK.
California. And you can have conversations, and it's real, and you're face to face, and that's good. So it can save in cost in running out there and supporting your team. You can have webinars and conference calls. You can get messages out quick, so it improves communication. So communication is improved, recognition is improved, training is improved, branding can be improved as well. It can bring with it some more vulnerabilities as well, of course, because online you can get everyone's opinion. And if someone is uneducated or they go to the wrong place to get some direction, they can be misinformed easier as well. But with that, the consequence of that is it should bring a stronger sense of self-regulation from the companies to make sure that they are improving their practices to improve their reputation online. So there is a benefit in that adversity there. One area that it's really only scratched the surface on, and some people have mastered it, but many haven't, is in the area of acquisition.
Okay.
Yeah, and what I mean by that is, for any business, acquisition of new customers is king. There is always going to be what we call in this industry a revolving door.
Yeah.
But you get it in every industry. You'll get customers that come in and you get customers that go out. And the key of any business is to acquire as many as possible, look after them and nurture them so that you can sustain them and look after them for as long as you really can, and engage them in some way so that they're productive, they're positive, they're having a good experience. But you're never going to have 100% retention in any business. So there's always going to be that revolving door. But what is really important is network marketing in many instances has kind of clung to the old school approach for acquisition of new business partners or consultants, distributors, whatever you choose to call them. And this is an area that people are still trying to get their heads around. One of the challenges that I think we are still lingering a little further back in this area of technology is because a lot of the training is based on this is what I did to be successful. Yeah, and if what you did worked then but isn't as successful now, you can be teaching people a slower way of doing it.
Yeah, well, I think it's like that in any business, really. I mean, when I hear people say, I've been doing this for 30 years, that's the alarm bell for me. So, he's throwing the experience bit in there now. But, you see these young people. I mean, I think the people that created Instagram, in 1.5 years, they created a company that was then sold for multiple billions of dollars. And that same year, Polaroid went bust.
Yeah.
And they had thousands of employees, and Instagram had 13 employees. And they were probably under the age of 25, 30, and they sold and they make billions. And exactly. So if they listen to the people that are saying, oh, I've been doing this for 20 years, which is what the Polaroid people were, when Polaroid were actually offered the opportunity to take on board the technology of the digital camera, and they said, oh, no, this is a load of rubbish, it's never going to work, blah, 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 and they just foo-fooed it. And then a few years down the line, what happens? The day they shut down, the other guys sell for billions. So it just shows you how the world's changing and will continue to change.
And with technology, it changes very rapidly. So unfortunately for many people, experience doesn't always equal relevance. And for anyone to feel secure in what they're doing, we need to make sure that we're continually relevant. So what we did 10 years ago might be great for back then, but we need to make sure that we're relevant now. And so that's an area that I think I would encourage a lot of people to look into. I'll give you just a quick example of how this works. The traditional way of acquiring new business partners is when you signed up a new prospect, what do most people do? They say, sit down and write up your 100 names list. Yeah, get your names out there. And the reality is most people now, if you pull out your iPhone, you've got more than 100 people right there already. The list is already created. If you go onto Facebook or Twitter, your lists are already there developed. At the same time, my wife is 36 and she recently got braces to help her with the jaw condition that she's been struggling with. And she often goes online, goes onto YouTube and looks at these vloggers that will share their stories. Maybe it's a young mother that's vlogging about her child having children or what have you. But she thought, you know what, I'm experimenting with this. I might see about doing my own vlog and I'll do it about adults with braces. Well, if I was to say to you in a conventional way, in the traditional MLM route, I want you to go out there and find at least 100 people, create a names list, go out and get at least 100 people that are interested or curious about the first day experience of adults having braces. How easy would that be? I mean, let's talk about niche. How easy would that be? You'd think,
oh, that's be difficult.
It's going to be hard. Within 30 minutes, she set up a little YouTube channel, typed in some keywords to link her message to, recorded a brief message in our dining room about this is day one for me having braces, this is what they look like. She showed the camera, talked for about all of 2 or 3 minutes and said, I'll keep you posted. The next day, she'd had over 300 views. She hadn't sent out to her friends and family. She hadn't said, please like this, please follow it. She hadn't even gone onto Facebook and said, guys, I'm doing this. She just uploaded it onto YouTube. And within 24 hours, she'd had over 300 views. I think it's had more than 600 just by the end of the week. but that's the power of social marketing.
Yeah.
And if we can learn how to do that well, and the strength of that lies in our keywords and in our message. And if we can link those, use the Google Analytics to really understand what people are looking for, what they're talking about, learn how to search them, learn how to attract them, then we can have a very large organization of potential customers and distributors that we can acquire month after month after month that is global. And that makes the network real exciting.
It's interesting because it's a bit like the difference between hunting and fishing. Once upon a time you had to go out and hunt. Now you fish. So you send the message out there with the right keywords. So it's like putting the fishing net into the water, and you just sit back and wait for the fish to come in.
Exactly. Yeah, it's a much more effective way to do it. So people do need to learn. This will be my one point of encouragement. Learn how to utilize Google Analytics and all of the technology available online with social media and social marketing and search advertising, that type of thing, to learn how to acquire new business partners. And that will give you a leg up, head and shoulders above everyone else.
Yeah. So tell us about the type of person today that's getting into network marketing. There's a lot of talk about baby boomers and people that haven't got enough money for retirement. I mean, what kind of demographic do you see coming into Nikken at the moment?
Well, yeah, baby boomers are definitely a big strength for our business.
Yeah.
So, however, at the same time, we do recognize where we want to move and lead the business.
Yeah.
Excuse my prompts there on the phone.
Yeah.
Is to a younger audience, a younger demographic. And especially, again, if you want to utilize technology to its full strength, then we do need to also start working with a younger audience as well. So we do find more people in their 30s are coming into the business. The population of network marketing is dominated with women. There are 100 million direct sellers in our industry globally.
Yeah.
And 80% of them are women.
Yeah.
That's significant.
Yeah.
So we want to recognize there that female entrepreneurship is a significant message that is attracting new network marketers, because unfortunately, and it's a crying shame, and it's ridiculous that this even exists today, there is still disparity between what men earn and what women earn in the workplace.
Yeah.
And a woman can get promoted and may not earn the same type of salary as her male counterpart. That's just totally wrong. And in network marketing, whether you're a man or a woman, whether you're black or you're white, whether you're rich or you're poor, educated or not, everyone has got a level playing field of opportunity to earn the same as the next guy. And that is really attractive, I think, specifically to a lot of female entrepreneurs.
Yeah, because it's performance-based.
Yeah.
Now, what are the hottest markets for network marketing, and what are the future trends, do you think?
Well, I think in regards to hottest markets, the Asian markets are definitely booming for a lot of companies.
Yeah.
The Eastern European markets also do very well. So one of the challenges, I think, behind, when you say why is that, I think one of the challenges behind Western Europe, the UK is an example in comparison to some of these other East European markets, is the social system is so accommodating for unemployment and that type of thing that whilst they are supportive of entrepreneurship, they also are very supportive of total inactivity.
It gets people's minds. They don't think they have to go out there and do. They got the government giving them everything, giving them the handouts.
So countries where that is not so readily available do find that they start to do better with network marketing because there isn't such a strong safety net beneath people. And having said that, the UK is, I think, the number 11 in regards to sales volume for network marketing countries.
Okay.
So the UK is still a very good market.
Yeah.
But at the same time, as I look at it, I do look and see, well, I know the industry very well, and I've worked with a lot of these big companies, so I know where the big companies are big in regards to their global mix. And sometimes, those big companies, if they're strong in particular countries, can skew the perspective of this is a strong market because here are our market sales. Actually, you've got maybe a handful of really big companies that are thriving there, and that can perhaps misrepresent the reality. I think if you get the right opportunity and you're getting in with a lot of enthusiasm and support, the opportunity, the great trend, the great market to be in is right where you stand. And
yeah, because you can reach out to the world from where you are. If you've got a computer, as you were saying, and you know how to use social media, you can be sitting anywhere in the world and reach someone on the opposite side of the globe and start building a network literally all over the place.
Yeah, because what I would always say is, don't say the opportunity isn't there for me because the thriving market is in China or it's in Southeast Asia and I don't live there, so therefore it's not for me or the opportunity isn't mine. You make your opportunity.
Yeah.
I asked to be president.
Yeah.
And I got it. I asked to be marketing manager years ago and I got it.
Yeah.
If you don't ask, you don't get. So if where you start is where you're at, if where you're at is here, start here and go out and get it.
Well, even with Facebook, if you want to place a Facebook ad, for example, you can go in and you can target certain areas of the world and certain demographics. So if you know that Vietnam is going to be a hot market for 30 to 40-year-old women, you can just target your Facebook ad to Vietnam, women 30 to 40 years old, and off it goes to those specific people. So, and it doesn't cost much either, because we've done some Facebook ads for a number of things, and it works.
It does. It's really, really cost effective. So in regards to future trends, I'd say one big trend is being much more product focused in the business.
Yeah.
A lot of MLMs will drive the business opportunity front and foremost.
Yeah.
Because that's really what attracts people for the opportunity.
Yeah. The money side. Yeah.
The money side, but one of the challenges is the balance isn't always right in the messaging.
Yeah.
And so sometimes they'll drive the business and the product can be secondary. Yeah. What we'll see as a future trend is that the product needs to lead and be supplemented by the business. And so I think that's something that people need to be mindful of. That is there a really good, legitimate product retailing opportunity in my business in order for it to thrive long term?
Yeah, and I also think does the product resonate with you? You have to be passionate about it.
Totally.
If you're not interested in nutrition and you go into a nutrition business, well, maybe there's a makeup business, for example. Go for the makeup business if that's where your passion is. Don't go for the health food products or whatever. So I think that is important. That's really down to the individual.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah. Now let's. You mentioned before that you read a lot of books, and you have. What have been 3 books that have shaped your business career more than others?
I'd say one book is Good to Great by Jim Collins.
Yeah.
That has really helped me. I love his hedgehog concept, which I've taught repeatedly in the field and internally in the office, about identifying what you can be best in the world at, deeply passionate about, and be profitable with, what drives my economic engine. So I love that. Another book, Blue Ocean Strategies.
Yeah.
Let me get the author here because this one's a great one. I hugely recommend this. You'll see why I didn't necessarily quote the names. They're difficult to pronounce.
Yeah, of course.
But this was written by professors of the INSEAD Institute, which is a business school, international business school. And that's a great book because it takes you away from trying to compete with your existing market or industry by saying we can be better here, or this is the cake that we've got, we can take an extra slice here, but it helps you think outside the box and create new waters, new industries, new markets, new ways of doing business. And from a strategy perspective, I really love that. Another book is Emotional Intelligence by Daniel Goleman. I love just how he helps us to understand human nature and human behavior. And he leads into that. There are other books that he's done that talk about that in leadership and with CEOs and what have you. But Emotional Intelligence, Blue Ocean Strategies for Strategic Direction, and also, like I said, Good to Great, learning how to be great and pursue excellence with some degree of urgency. To be honest, it's hard to bring it down to 3 because as soon as you say that,
then you think of others.
Predictably irrational, which is great in understanding human behavior when it comes to consumerism. By Dan Ariely. That's an awesome book. I love that one. So I could keep on going, but those 3 I think are strong ones for me.
I like Rich Dad Poor Dad. Kiyosaki. I think that when he talks about the difference between being self-employed and owning a business, and the business is a business when it works without you, and getting into that 4th quadrant of where money works for you, and so making that transition, I thought that's really interesting. And then also Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, which is a classic, which is, interestingly enough, it's not a book about money but about mindset. as I always tell people. People always get thrown by the title. They think it's a book about money, but it isn't.
It's about mindset. It's a great book.
Yeah. And I think mindset, I mean, like in everything, and I remember when I was involved in network marketing in my 20s, they always used to say, we're all here, we're all working for the same company, we all got the same product, same marketing plan, but the differentiator is you.
Yeah.
And so
it's really true. Yeah.
And so the personal development, the mindset is key.
Yeah, I think to that point, you don't necessarily pursue success, it ensues.
Yeah.
It's the same with happiness. You don't, if you pursue it, it can evade you.
Yeah.
But it often ensues, it follows you. When you do what's right, it follows.
Yeah.
And so it's about following what you love and being great at it, and then you'll find that success ensues. So if you're chasing the dollar, you'll lose it. You won't catch it necessarily. But if you chase what you love, then all that stuff will follow and fall into place.
Tell us more about Nikken and the products that you have and the philosophy behind your products. Because you mentioned before the importance of network marketing company to be very product driven and not money driven and opportunity driven. Tell us about the Nikken products and why they are unique and what have you got that's new that's coming out soon and
Well, to begin with that, I think you mentioned the philosophy. Another book that I love by Simon Sinek is Start With Why. And that's a great book. And he talks about people don't buy what you do, they buy why you do it. And to that end, Nikken, the word Nikken comes from two Japanese words, Nihon Kenko, which means Japanese health.
Okay.
And so we were started in 1975 in Japan. We've got a very strong Eastern philosophy, I guess, at the heart of our business, which is centered on what we call humans being more.
Yeah, and it's very healthy. The Eastern people tend to live longer
and so it's all about helping people to become their best selves, reach their full potential, and they do that through what we've identified as the 5 pillars of health: a healthy mind, a healthy body, healthy family, healthy society, and healthy finances. And when you get your life in balance in those 5 areas, then you start to achieve abundance, joy to its fullest, and become your best self.
Yeah.
So when we've looked at product range and business strategy, we've focused it around those 5 pillars of health, starting with the healthy mind, because just like you said, Fabrizio, it's all about attitude and mindset first and foremost. So we always deliberately start in that order. And interestingly, like I was saying before about how success ensues, you notice that the financial pillar is the last.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a consequence. It's a consequence of all the others. Yeah.
Exactly. So they are in a deliberate order there. So we've always promoted healthy mind, healthy body, healthy family, society, and finances. And our product range reflects that. So we have an emphasis on what we call our wellness home, meaning that within our wellness home is where the heart is, home is where the greatest happiness is, home is where we want to focus our attention on. But also from a health perspective, that's where we learn to take care of our mind, our body, and everything else. It all kind of grows out from that space. So from a product perspective, we know that we need air to breathe, we need water to drink, we need sleep to survive, we need good nutrition, and so on. So we've identified those essential areas of life, vital elements of life, and built our product categories around there. So we've got water purifiers, so make sure you don't just have good water, it's alkaline water, it's purified water, it's mineralized water, and so we look after you there. We have air purifiers as well that are far beyond, you've got the same quality of air that you'd have in a hospital surgery here. The only difference is that we also introduce negative ions through our air purifier, so that it's a negative ion enriched environment. So you can put that in your room, close the door at night, wake up in the morning, and it feels like you've just woken up next to a waterfall or in the middle of a forest. Yeah. Nice, beautiful, fresh, clean air. And then, of course, good nutrition. So we have nutritional supplements. We've got nutritional, and we focus again on natural and organic product ranges. Yeah. So a lot of our protein shakes and that type of thing are natural, organic. Well, that's what's coming out very soon, is our organic versions of those shakes. Yeah. We've got an energy drink, again, that is natural and organic. So all of that focus is let's remove the toxins, make it natural and organic, healthy, and of course sleep. More and more emphasis and research now is done on sleep, showing how that can positively affect our mind. There isn't a single activity in our lives that we do more than sleep. And yet for a lot of us, we don't give it much thought.
Yeah, that's true.
So we want to make sure that we provide a good night's rest and good sleep with our products as well. So we have sleep mattress toppers and duvets and sleep masks. And I was recently at Oxford University with Professor Foster, who's one of the world's leading experts in the circadian rhythms and neuroscience.
Yeah.
And he gave me the wonderful opportunity of being there with some of the biochemists and neuroscientists there that he's been working with at the PhD level, and integrating. I think this was the first time that they'd ever done that. Someone from a different discipline speaking to the scientists, versus having a scientist speak with them.
Yeah.
But it's good to get that cross-functional support and that relationship. So that's really a big area that we want to place our emphasis on, and that's where we find our uniqueness comes in. A lot of people do talk about wellness, do talk about nutrition, but they don't talk about it in the holistic way that Nikken does.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, good night's sleep, the air, the water you drink.
Because science proves now, of course. Well, we know anyway that good hydration helps with our body, but also with weight loss and weight management. Being well hydrated. But there are a lot of weight management companies out there that don't actually do anything where they talk about sleep, and yet disrupted sleep, it is now scientifically proven, can impact your appetite and your cravings for those foods that help you to put weight on. So having a good night's sleep and having your circadian rhythm in balance, which is what has made us who we are since the dawn of man, that also plays a part in good nutrition, in weight management, in healthy thinking, and healthy relationships, and all that kind of thing. So to that end, I think we really have a really good holistic approach to well-being, and that to me is really exciting.
Yeah, also it's also on trend because a lot of people are getting sicker and sicker. They go to the doctors. Doctors don't seem to be able to solve their problems, so they start looking for alternatives. And then you've got the aging population as well, which obviously want to be fitter and look good and feel good in their older age. So they start turning to things like the Nikken products.
Yeah, exactly. And it also appeals to the younger generation. Because I was asked this question by a distributor recently. How do we attract the younger audience was the question that I was asked.
Yeah.
Because a lot of distributors will often go to the problem. Oh, you got something wrong with your elbow. I've got something that can help with that.
Yeah.
Or you put on a bit of weight. I've got something I can help with that.
Yeah.
And they often think of the physical ailments that people have and see the benefit of the product. But the great thing about having that emphasis on sleep and getting your balance in your life that way is that the younger generation now has a much tougher, more stressful work-life balance.
Yeah, they do.
That's placed upon them. Technology means they need to be available around the clock, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And it's so competitive and so aggressive, and that puts huge stresses on them. Yeah. And so they might not think about all of the health issues of the baby boomers.
Yeah.
But if you want to talk to them about alleviating and managing stress, then they're interested. And that's something, again, that a holistic approach to wellness can be very attractive for. So we attract both age demographics there, I think, quite comfortably, if they deliver the message with all the power that it's got to be delivered with.
Yeah, and I think if you get, I see some of these network marketing companies are very good with all their online resources to help distributors to promote their business. And I think if you take care of that side, with fancy apps and things like that, you're going to attract the younger generation because they're into all these gadgets and technologies and whatever. And I think that's probably one area to go to capture that market. And yes, we're all worried about our health. Because we all see people around us suddenly have a heart attack and pass away, or people that get cancer and then die, and there are ways to sort of prevent those things from happening. But you're right. Good night's sleep, good air, good water. These are all elements that a lot of these other wellness companies don't think about. They just want to sell you the box of pills. The magic bullet, as they call it.
And it's really all about authenticity and balance. That's what I've found, and that's what we strive to do in Nikken. Is we strive, like I said, balance across those 5 pillars. Balance in our message with the business opportunity and the product message. Balance in regards to how we approach wellness holistically and authentically. And I think you get a really compelling opportunity when you get that balance just right.
Okay, Ben, it's been great talking to you. So how can someone find out more about you and Nikken?
If they want to find out more about me, I've got my Facebook page, of course. I think it's Nikken Ben Woodward. Or LinkedIn, of course. I'm available on LinkedIn. People are more than welcome to join me, and I'm always happy to chat and answer questions if they've got them as well. Nikken, if you're in Europe, it's nikken.co.uk or nikken.eu. In the States, it's nikken.com. But by all means, I think follow us on Facebook, see what we're doing. Facebook and social media is the way that we're going to start driving things forward much more. We've got a mobile app that's coming out very soon as well, so people can perhaps learn how to connect that way too.
Okay, great. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you so much, Fabrizio. Good chatting again.